Welcome and hello and welcome and thank you for joining me on this very special edition of Un Poco Mas. You might be asking yourself, what makes this edition of Un Poco Mas so special? And really nothing. I'm tired. It's going to be sort of an aimless, meandering journey through my battle with insanity, buying just idiotic buys after idiotic buys. But sometimes they actually work out. So as the description implies, it was not clickbait. Picked up 20,000. Um, Sorry, this keeps cutting out. I still haven't put in my Ethernet cable. I'm a complete idiot. My apologies. I'm gonna get that plugged in tomorrow. I promise you. Um, but why did I buy those shares? There's so many reasons. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Number one, filing from today. There's some red here. These are smaller companies selling out. BlackRock, new position at 460. 5.1 million shares. Now you start to look at this 460 level. It's made a market here several times this year. It's really one of the only places the stock has made a market. Otherwise, here at 524, a little bit, and possibly here, but this was more sawtooth. This was more just algos working really, really hard. The only places the algos kind of broke down and buyers and sellers got together was this little period here at 460. At least that's what I can see. You know, but I see what I want to see. What the essential thing is, why do I think this is bottoming and is going to absolutely face rip? They continue to borrow an insane amount of shares, and I've never seen an algo locked on a stock quite this tightly. It's fallen from the high 60s down to the fours now, while fundamentals have improved a lot. I know there was been margin pressure, production issues, some problems with decisions that have been made, but that's largely been sorted. And you know what they've done with this thing, it looked like the algo was going to kind of stop around 10, kind of stopped pushing it down around 10, and then it just went, you know kept going and going and going. And if you look, on the stock, the last, let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, it's not that analysts are often just there for misdirection, but there's some pretty good analysts in this bunch who actually know the company. So the last 7 ratings have been buys. The last couple of months, all the time, the stock has just fallen like a stone. Of course, recently it's, people think Trump is going to do like a trade war. I don't think it's going to be quite. I don't think they want, the farmers and everybody upset. So trade wars don't make a lot of sense. Nobody wins. I think, we'll just have to see what happens. But remember, Nio doesn't sell anything in America. Probably won't for, either way, wasn't going to for a few years. I mean, they're just trying to get, past these tariffs in Europe. So they, shifted into the Middle East, North Africa deal. And, I think there's still, while there's a lot of competition in China, EVs have reached like 50% penetration. I think Nio has a secret sauce that's with SoFi, people are saying, when, another ER, another dud. I'm like, I'm not a market maker. I'm not a billionaire. I can't tell you when, guys. I can't drive the bus. I can't say, where does the bus go? I can't say, how fast does the bus go? I can't say, when does the bus stop? All I can do is decide, when do I get on the bus with my money and when do I get off the bus with my money. If you get off, at a higher price than you got on, you're going to win. If you let your emotions take over and, sell the dip and smell the rip at 460 like these guys want you to, you know, I think someday you're going to be kicking yourself, because I don't think this stock is going anywhere. Maybe a year ago when it was having problems, but look at the price to sales ratio on Nio. It's less than 1, 0.99. Now you look at a company like Rivian, who is going to make less than 50,000 cars all year, and they lose something close to $40,000 per car that they manufacture. Um, their price to sales ratio is 2.61. You look at a company like Xpeng, who is, peer to Nio, similar sales a lot of times. Probably, they're different in some ways, but similar in many ways. Their price to sales is exactly what Rivian's is, 2.5, basically. Look, just for fun, look at Tesla. I'm not saying Nio's anything like Tesla. Tesla is very unique. I get all that. I just made a huge run on Tesla. Had to trim some because it was becoming too much of my portfolio again. But anyway, their price to sales is 11. Look at Lucid. I mean, Lucid, without just continued influx of Saudi money, they'd be bankrupt. I mean, you could say the same thing about, Middle Eastern money coming into Nio, but I don't think that's really true. They wouldn't be bankrupt. They can get more money from China. They can get more money dilution. They can get more money a variety of ways. But anyway, their price to sales ratio is 9 or 7, excuse me, 7. So Neo's price to sales ratio is 0.99. And the stock, the borrowing is just relentless. I mean, day before yesterday, they borrowed net 7.5 million shares. Today, they borrowed another 7.5 million. You see the algo working. It's the exact same, pattern. It comes up, same humps here, same time of day. And then magically, though it says they borrowed 15 million shares in the last couple of days, the shares on loan actually go down a little bit. So this data, it's not, perfect science, but short interest is pretty high on a stock like this that's not going anywhere. Utilization, 91%. And this is just what I'll point out. This is usually 10 million shares available. Sometimes it drops to a few million, but, ever since this insane borrowing's been going on, it dips down to 2 million, 3 million. As you can see recently, even less than a million, and then 10,000, 8,000, then today 0, 1,000. Now, I know institutions are going to make more shares available and they own shares and they can dump without borrowing and everything else. But the tool they've been using to control this large degree, I think, is this borrowing. There must be a little above my pay grade, and I just don't understand. But um, I look at all the evidence in front of me, and I do know some people in China. I did used to, do some business in China. I wasn't there physically, but just trading back and forth. So I made some relationships, and my understanding is that Nio is, sort of on a pedestal by the Chinese public, Chinese government. It's very prestigious, very sought after. Um, And, that's my understanding. Obviously, I'm not there, but I feel like the government is pushing this thing. And Onvo is going to ramp. And people love Onvo. And people are going to love Firefly at that price point. I mean, William Lee is saying, like, we can compete in Europe, no problem, even with the tariff. Even with 30% weight added on our back, we can definitely compete in Europe. So that's quite a confident statement. But I'm saying, why do I think this is going to go up a tremendous amount now? It's basically because they've been, shorting this thing, the same algo at the same down bubble on the same line, aside from pumps and dumps that they've quickly brought like a magnet right back to where the algo wants it. This is extremely well funded. Like, these are market gods. This costs hundreds of millions of dollars to do what they're doing. That, in my opinion, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but it seems illegal. High frequency trading, bid rigging, where you control the bid and the ask to move us to walk a stock down. I mean, I was looking at the chart in Hong Kong. It's like on these days like today, where it's supposedly, this big red day. If you actually start to look at the candles, the majority of the candles are green. This is just heavy, heavy accumulation. Even while the stock is trading at a down bubble, because market makers control the price. They can accumulate slightly up and then just fix the bid and the ask in a quantity that overwhelms everything else much lower, drop the price really quickly, and then start accumulating again and just rinse and repeat. And that's what that sawtooth, that shark tooth pattern you see in stocks like SoFi and Nio all day, every day is. It's just algos working on the stock. As big a deal as us retarders think we are is probably, they say the market is like 70 or 80% computers and 20 or 30% people. I think on stocks like Nio and SoFi, it's, at certain times it's been like 95% algos plus. And us retarders are just, playing with our little wings. We don't control anything. We don't drive the bus. We don't make the bus route. We don't clean up the urine on the bus. The fast food wrappers and such. Oh, anyway, guys, I'm not really sure what this whole video was about, but people like, oh, you're trying to pump the stock and make it. I'm telling you, I know I don't matter, but I just have a feeling, and if anybody likes to gamble and they want to get in on it, that this has been driven down by these market makers to push it way, way up. And it's about to happen. Like, it's not going to go down below zero. I mean, that's the Hong Kong chart. That's the Hang Seng. I like to say Hang Seng. It's fun. If you look at this thing, how it's just been tightly controlled from 25, and then again, just absolute. Look at this dip from 19 down to 11. I mean, this is just incredible. How good this thing is. Whoever's controlling this. I mean, honestly, this is a little bit more of a professional crew than was working on SoFi at the end, but I know a lot of it is the same algos. But I just don't think this is going to go that far below zero. I mean, the price to sales is already below 1, and sales is about to grow, and earnings is less than a week away. So you're really up against a time pressure here. And if they want to push this thing down again, the next notch would be like 4. That's the next place you find some support on the chart. Any type of market made on the chart is down there near 4, 407, whatever it is. But then they leave themselves just a couple trading days till earnings. What if earnings is good? What if margins markedly improve? What if they make a big announcement? What if there's a big partnership? What if there's some new car from a big brand on the back? What if there's something that's going to move the stock up? And these guys are sitting there borrowing, 400 million shares, shorting 200 million. It could get absolutely brutal if it's, and you have to ask yourself, why would BlackRock pick up these shares at 460? I always look at BlackRock and I'm like, I look at them with SoFi, I look at them with everything. I look at these stocks, I'm like, yeah, it's great to see, Fidelity. It's great to see Chase, any of the big boys, Morgan Stanley, especially Goldman Sachs. But of the two, I would say BlackRock and Goldman Sachs. And they're up to the most hijinks. They push stocks up. Are they just going to buy, 34 million shares at this price or $34 million and not, and if the stock's going to go back down to 4, I don't see it. I think they know better. I mean, Wells Fargo, they have a put, but yeah, Wells Fargo. I noticed Chase increased. Let's see, Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank sold a lot of their shares. Average was 630. Anyway, I don't really think they know what they're doing, but neither do I. Yeah, there's some red in here, guys. So institutions, don't like the stock ostensibly, but we saw that with SoFi. I don't think this run is necessarily going to be on this ER, but I don't know that you're going to be able to accumulate the stock at this price forever. I don't think it's going back to 4. It seems like this is the bottom, but I've said this over and over, so it may or may not be. I mean, if it goes to 4, like, I'll get a 4th mortgage on my house. Do they do 4th mortgages? What is this for you? Is this a 2nd? No, it's a 4th. What's up, Rumi? Yeah, no, it has been painful. None of us like to see our stocks go down. I was talking to some guy on here. He's like, "Oh, it's a junk stock." I was like, "Well, it's gone down." I mean, this is what I look for, guys. Is I look for junk stocks. I love junk stocks. Stocks that are abused, maligned, mistreated, thrown out, cast asunder, Humpty Dumpty, busted up. But the companies are good. The fundamentals are turning around to the positive. I looked at SoFi. I'm like, this thing's been beaten to hell by this short algo, and it's had nothing but headwinds, and they've still done absolutely phenomenal with these conventional services. They're bringing all this tech online. It's all going to change. Institutions are going to buy it, and they're going to take it up. And lo and behold, that's what happens. I'm like, SoFi's not going to be the only company that's doing well. Like Hood's going to run, Palantir's going to run, all these companies are going to run, and SoFi, Upstart's going to run, and SoFi's just going to sit there at 4. Like, that's not going to happen. I'm loading the boat. I have faith. I have faith in my ability to see the field. And my crystal balls, as musty and old and gray as they may be, every fiber of my being is telling me market makers are going to run this thing up, and it's going to be an absolute face rip. And if you miss it, you miss it. But I'm trying to figure out what is the big risk in loading at 460. Like, that's what I think is happening. I think retail is actually loading the boat. But yeah, these are some of the shares I bought in my SoFi account. Picked these up at 465. Just happened to have some money in there from some other shit I sold. But yeah, picked up like 17,000, another 4,000 in my JP Morgan account. And I just don't want, obviously I could Photoshop that or whatever, but I didn't. I'm not lying. Like when I say I buy a ton of SoFi or have whatever, yeah, I guess anybody can lie about anything. It's like people are like, well, he showed his account. Like you show a screenshot of an account, doesn't really prove anything, I guess, but I don't know, whatever. I bought the shares and I'll buy again tomorrow. Like I'll flip in another 100 grand tomorrow. Boom, take it to 4. I ain't scared. Take it to 4, guys. I'm talking to you guys. Take it to 4. Quattro formaggio, bitches. I love a 4-cheese pizza. Dude, that's hilarious on Tosh.0, where he gets the guy from the Learning Annex in there. He's a chef. He's like, now this is how you make a 3-cheese blend. He's like, put the cheeses in a bowl and you toss. And he's like, do you really need like a class? But those videos are funny. They do those like 30-second videos on YouTube, like how to change a light bulb. It's like, unscrew the light bulb and screw in the new light bulb. It's like, now you've changed a light bulb. And they bring in like an electrical contractor to do that. And he's like, got to do a bunch of those videos. Like, here's how you turn on a 3-way switch. It's like, oh, anyway, guys, I know this isn't even material. Like this isn't even a bit. I'm just rambling. It's lack of sleep, lack of direction, lack of intellect, lack of ideas, lack of direction. What else am I lacking? I'm lacking the ability to think of more things that I'm lacking. Let's put it that way. It's just weak. It's just weak. Guys, have I plugged the Tebedaki method lately? The Tebedaki method is the first trading system developed for plus-sized gentlemen, poorly prognosticators, people of generous proportions, such as myself. It was developed by my great uncle, Nio Stock Headbandian, who was known as to be great with numbers, a great mathematician from the old country. And the great thing about this course is it is starting at the first week, the base camp. It's called the Fat Camp. It's 25,000 US, and that does not include food, guys. Does not include food. We have to make that clear. Does not include food. Does not include airfare. Does not include lodgings. Does not include course materials. Let's see. Basically, doesn't include anything. But if you're 20 stone or more, you get a 25% discount. 25 stone, a 50% discount. If you're 30 stone or more, God help you, get free tuition to the Fat Camp. It's going to be great. Oh, this show sucks. I don't know. Hello and welcome, guys. What's up? It's Graham Colstock. Got my eye on you, Graham. Let's see. Who else is here? We got Clap My Dog. What's up, Clap My Dog? It's the great James Turner. Played with instrumental in freeing the slaves. Morning, sir. I hope Nio squeezes like me in an XL t-shirt. That's funny. Or me in a 3XL, James. You should try the Tebedaki method. It doesn't sound like you're nearly fat enough. Get on that, sir. Get a pizza. Get Domino's on the phone stat. That was funny when I was talking to people. Didn't believe that. People had to look it up. And I mean, obviously somebody told me, and I had the same reaction. Like over the last 20 years, the best stock was Domino's pizza. It went from like $3 to 600 or something. What, just insane. Like 10x. Like this thing 200x. Went triple uranium, motherfucker. It's like fisticuffs. We out here in the streets, we killing people. He dropped the album. It's like, turn my headphones up. No, seriously, I can't hear out of this ear. They think he's like singing a song, like he's about to rap, but he just literally can't hear out of his headphones. Like, so they think the new joint he's dropping is called Turn My Headphones Up. It's like, no, turn my headphones up. I can't hear you. Turn my headphones up. Dude, the Chappelle Show had some hilarious bits. But I don't see an EV company doing anything like what Nio's doing. The sub-brands covering the entire gamut from extremely affordable to luxury, ultra luxury with the ET9 coming out. I mean, you have SUVs, you have, Onvo is about to release, they said either a 6 or 7 place SUV. It's a game changer. Once swap gets humming, it's going to be too late to buy this stock at 5. And that's not a long ways away. They already have 2,700 swaps online, 700, that accommodate Onvo. It was 177 Gen 4s, and the rest were, upfitted Gen 3s or modified Gen 3s, whatever they say. Just, allow them to take those lower capacity batteries, whatever it is, and service the Onvo vehicles. Oh, yeah, they're saying the Firefly hybrid is a potential spark to reignite growth in Europe. They're also talking about bringing manufacturing to Europe, so there's a lot of ideas there. There's also a lot of people that don't think Europe can sustain this trade war with China, that European nameplates need the Chinese market at least as much as Chinese nameplates need the European market. I don't really know if that's true. I did get an economics degree at one point at one time, but it's hazy. It's a little bit hazy. But how sustainable is this? Borrowing 7.5 million shares every single day to algo hold the stock in this, in this pattern to churn the stock, I guess, killing options. I'm at a loss kind of to understand exactly what they're doing. I mean, some of these dailies are like, I mean, it's just weird. It's just weird what they're doing. I mean, they're not stopping anyone out. They're not really killing anything at 460. I mean, that they wouldn't kill at 5. I don't know. Did they know something I don't know? Do they understand something I don't understand? I mean, probably. But, that's probably true of most people. But I'm just looking at this where the technicals, the chart is just doing the opposite of the fundamentals, just continues to go down. And if you look at the volume, in the last month or so, it dwarfs anything this stock has like ever seen. It just keeps going. That to me is a sign just something big is about to happen. Yesterday, 87 million shares. Today, they dropped volume down in half exactly. And they held the stock. And you see these just extremely obviously weird patterns. If you look at the short volumes, okay, look at these patterns. 42.50, 42.56, 44.52. So it's just alternating between holding the stock level and then dropping it down another 25 or 50 cents. You can see that pattern repeat where it's like hold, where it's pretty heavy short and then ridiculously heavy short or heavy borrowing. But again, this has not happened before. I watch this every single day for years. This used to be 10 million, 6 million, 10 million. This is now 0. And they just keep borrowing more. Right now, they're just borrowing more shares to just attack the stock again in the morning. And they could do this for another month, or I don't know, maybe another couple months, all the way down to 3, 2. I mean, where are they going to take price to sales? 0.3? I mean, it's comical. They can do it. But I mean, if you just assign this nominal value of, 2, price to sales of 2 puts you at 920. Price to sales of 2.5, like all these other stocks that I don't think are doing nearly as well as Nio, doing nearly as much as Nio, nearly a fraction of the potential of Nio, no unique selling point. If you just gave it that 2.5, where does that put you? Almost 13. I mean, this stock it's farcically undervalued by the market. The market makers have done this for whatever their own reasons, their own trades, things again in the dark pool that I don't understand. But as sure as anything, this stock is going to just absolutely face rip at one point or another. It might pump and dump. It might not be the long-term winner. I think it's going to be, but it's going to have its moments. What would a swap mandate look like? What does CATL know? CATL already owns the battery market. They have like 44% of the market in China, like more than double BYD, I believe. What do they know? Why do they want to aggressively build out 10,000 swap stations by the end of the decade? Do they know something about a mandate? I don't know. Otherwise, why would they spend all that money? They don't need to sell their batteries. They can sell all the batteries they can make already. There's no shortage of demand for batteries. So why are they spending all that money to build out 10,000 swaps? Maybe they think there could be a mandate coming. Maybe they think it just makes a ton of sense to make their batteries last longer, more efficient, get more life out of them, make the more utility, better for everyone, better for the environment, etc. Less raw materials, more recycling, better monitoring of the health, all those benefits of swap. And then you're not even getting into things like power storage that just make Nio just completely unique. Every power swap station is a mini mega pack. And if you put a few of them together, it could be a full mega pack. In the developing world, these things could be a completely self-contained grid. This company is unique. This company is not going away. And it's being priced like it's about to go bankrupt. It just doesn't make any sense. A company that really should be bankrupt like Lucid is trading at 7x price to sales. Nio is trading at less than 1. I've never seen an opportunity that seems so out of whack like this. I mean, I thought Baba was undervalued there, but this is ridiculous. I mean, I've seen stocks that are undervalued, but this is just absurd. Price to sales ratio 0.99. Again, Lucid 7, Xpeng 2.5, Rivian 2.5, Tesla 11, Nio less than 1. I have to take the shot. I gots to know. What's going on? I want to go ahead and say hello to everyone. What's up, Big Payush, the Big P in the house from representing Memphis, Tennessee. Yep, let's go Nio, and definitely let's go SoFi. I feel like SoFi doesn't need our help because the market gods, it's already at 50% institutional ownership. I put up the photos on my channel just in the post, but Renaissance just bought 11.5 million shares. Institutional ownership is up to 542 million shares on SoFi. So the same thing is going to happen with Nio. They're going to flip this thing. It's not the end of China. The Chinese EV industry is not going away. Protectionism is not going to make it go away. But it's basically the equivalent of like burying your head in the sand and covering your ears and going, neither, I can't hear you. It's coming. You can't stop what's coming. It's not all waiting on you. That's vanity. No, I'm not doing cash secured puts right at this moment. I just bought 20,000 shares this week. I had been selling covered calls on another massive hoard of shares I had in another location. I just keep hordes of shares. So many tens of thousands of shares here, so many these hordes of shares for rainy days. When a rainy day hits, I like to have 30,000 shares put away here and another 20. It's like I like to just have my fingers in a few pies, if you will. Woolies tickle the balls, as they say. Jaden Daniels versus Jalen Hurts. I have no idea. In 2021 Nio was in the 60s. Yeah, I mean that was nuts, Payush. That price action was nuts. What's up, CH? Guten Tag. Greetings from the beautiful dreary Los Angeles. Let's see. No, I may do some cash secured puts just because we are at the bottom, but I just right at this point, I just wanted to just take shares off the table. Just buy shares. Like I said, I'll splash out another 30,000 shares tomorrow. Take it to 4. I'll buy 50,000 shares. Whatever. Bring it. Bring it on, guys. You want to take it down to 3? Take it down to 3. Can't go below 0. It's going to go back up. China's not going away. Nio's not going away. Chinese government would not have let them build thousands and thousands of swap stations, just authorized several new factories when they weren't authorizing new factories. They want consolidation. But why are they authorizing new factories every time Nio wants it? Why are they sending William Lee to have direct meetings with the presidents of 2 Middle Eastern countries? When does that happen to a CEO of a small company? Sitting there at this days-long meeting with the presidents of Egypt and UAE. Guy functions as like an emissary of the Chinese government, like some kind of trade emissary. He's giving talks at Cambridge and Harvard. He seems totally at ease. He doesn't seem like these other, Chinese CEOs that are sort of very canned, very tight. He seems totally at ease, like he doesn't have a care in the world. Blue skies coming. Blue skies coming. Anyway, guys, we'll just have to see what happens tomorrow. I have a feeling it's going to fall again. I'm pretty sure it is, just because it's so easy to control on Hong Kong. Still at 35, so it's down like 1%, or 3.5% of one Hong Kong dollar or whatever they call their money. Anyway, yeah, so it's probably going to gap down again tomorrow. I don't know, 445 or something, and then we'll have to see. It'll probably accumulate back up to this level all day, but it's just going to basically want to kill the options at 5 at the end of the week. But again, when the rip comes, and only market makers know because they control the market, and we just ride the bus. Anyway, I don't know. That's pretty much all I had. When I started, I didn't really have anything. SoFi was in the 4s, Nio was in the 4s, SoFi is, it's going to do the same thing. They're going to take it up. We just don't know when. They just want you to lose interest and get out at the very lows so they can make the maximum money as possible. And that's what it's all about with market makers, just taking money from hapless, weak retarders like myself. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. I'm exhausted. I'm going to hit the old Sacalac, and you guys have a great evening. Sweet dreams. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And if they do, at least, hopefully, no, I don't know. forget that joke. Some old joke, some old dirty joke about bed bugs. I can't remember. I'm too tired. I haven't heard it in about 40 years. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great evening, and I will talk at you again as soon as possible. Let's see what happens with this one. I'm pretty sure this is near the bottom. It could go to 4, but I'm pretty sure that's it. And I think the upside, I don't really see much of any resistance for a long way up if this thing gets rolling. It's like that thing where SoFi doubles quickly. I mean, this thing could 5x in a heartbeat. Like I said, getting back to 2.5 price to sales is just a baseline at where it should be at 13. If it goes to something like Lucid was at, where it's at 7 price to sales, you know, you're talking about a move into the 30s, like overnight. It could happen. I mean, all it would take was one announcement of a major partnership, one announcement of production expanding into, you know, US or Europe. I mean, some major investment. It'll just send the stock just skyward. And shorts are going to have to cover. And there's a lot of buying pressure in Asia. You look at this chart when this thing's going, you know, 3.5% down in Hong Kong, they are accumulating. Most of the candles are green. I'm telling you, it's high frequency price fixing. This stuff's supposed to be illegal. It doesn't matter. They do it every minute of every day. There's absolutely no enforcement. It doesn't make any difference. They control the bid and the ask. That's the way it is. The rest of us are losers, and we can take the walk. All right, guys, I keep trying to end this video. It's just getting worse and worse. I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. It's Un Poco Moss. This evening, we failed miserably to provide you. Right. I agree with you, Payush. We just have to see, man. We just have to be patient and see if it happens. That's all we can do. Hopefully, we hold the shares when it does. And if we don't, again, we sell the dip and we smell the rip. But I have an extremely good feeling about this stock. That it's going to just make a massive move to the upside. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before. I am portly and a bit slow-witted. Anyway, you guys have a great night. I appreciate you. Peace. I'm out of here. It's Un Poco Moss.